What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Therapist Logan Reacts. Today we are running it back. You guys blew up my last video on Friday with Honest Ave and MGK. Crash First. That song was a banger. A lot of you guys were asking for more MGK, so shout out to everybody commenting it. So that's what we're doing today. A lot of you guys throw out Don't Let Me Go. I have heard the song before, so this is not a first time react, but this is a first therapist react. I have never reacted to this song. I listened to this song a few months ago pretty consistently, but I kind of forgot about it. It kind of stopped being, but I love it when it comes around in the cycle again. So let's break down the lyrics. Let's give a therapist breakdown because he does kill it, and I love the piano in the song. I'm actually plan on learning to play it one time around a piano again, so that's the goal. So I have the lyrics up on my phone just so I can follow along and touch base because he looks like there won't be lyrics on the screen. So let's jump right in and give a therapist breakdown.
Lately my thoughts eating me alive. Laid in the bed thinking maybe the hate will finally go away if I'm not alive. Wish I didn't listen, just like I wish they would understand me one time. I had a breakdown and tatted my entire body except one line. Everything's just fine. Slipping again, there I go slipping again. I'm acting different again. I see my family's reflection every time I look in the cup and I sip it again. After the sins, tell me after all the sins, will I be mentioned again? Why do I care? If in the end it's just me and God, like I'm Christian again.
Boom. So I gotta stop it there. We're gonna go over basically almost every single line of this song because it's so it all fits so well within one another. And it's all pertinent to the mental headspace that MGK seemed to be in writing this song. Lately, my thoughts eating me alive. Laid in the bed thinking maybe they'll hate me laid in the bed thinking maybe the hate will finally go away if I'm not alive. So there's that idea that the anger, the hate, the emotions inside me will go away if I'm no longer here. And that is a very typical thought with depressive-like symptoms, sometimes anxiety, even OCD tendencies as well, and a long list of other disorders. That's just a very pivotal mental health frame of mind. Like the hate, whatever the hate is directed towards, it doesn't really matter. It's more of just wanting the hate to kind of disperse and go away. Wish I didn't listen. Just like I wish they would have understood me one time. I had a breakdown and tatted my entire body except one line. So I'm not sure what he means by one line, if he just means like a line across himself, or if there was a line of maybe like a sentence he means by one line on his body that was really important to him. So I don't know. I'm not sure what he means by that, but he's practicing self-awareness by identifying I did have a breakdown and I tatted my entire body. Like it was all through a breakdown. It was maybe a maladaptive. And a lot of people, and there's more movement to this direction of how do I word this? Not suicidation. It is sorry, I'm recording this in the morning, so my brain's still slowly waking up. Self-harm. My goodness. Self-harm reduction is utilizing tattoos. Because, yes, you are still creating an open wound on yourself, but it's also creating art through self-expression. So a lot of people who struggle with self-harm actually can be utilized, in some therapies go in the way of harm reduction, in the way of promoting tattooing oneself, because it's creating instead of not destroying, but like disrupting, if that makes sense. So there's like that sense of gratification that can come from it, in the sense of creating, and over time, as more of it happens, you realize that you're creating and your brain's connecting more of a positive versus a negative outcome. So yeah, I see my family's reflection every time I look in the cup and I sip it again. So there's maybe that substance use. I know a lot of individuals saying that he's sober now, only weed he smokes. So that's amazing for MGK. I love that, but I'm sure that this is a little bit of an older song, so I think this may be when he was reflecting and utilizing substances, maybe for avoidance, emotional pain reduction, whatever it may be. I forget who said it, but somebody said we're all running from something, or not running from something. We're all trying to avoid something. I forget whose quote that is, but that's kind of what it reminds me of. And a lot of the time when I'm working with individuals who are avoidance, there's always something that they're utilizing to avoid said thing. And it takes a lot of reflection to recognize that that is what they're doing. And it takes time. Not everybody's able to look themselves in the mirror. I'm not perfect, and nobody's perfect, but it comes with time, right? Everybody's healing journey is a different timeline. So some people get it relatively quickly, and some people avoid it for their entire lives, and they get it when they're older, when something finally clicks. It's not a perfect science, that's for sure. After this, all right, so yeah, let's jump right into it and continue on.
Yeah. Slim, bring the beat in. Before my dad left this earth, he made sure I took on every quality I didn't want. I was supposed to die at birth, gave me a chance and I fucked it up, give me another one. I've been running from secrets I hid as a kid and I never confronted them. I just called mom, said I forgive her for not being there when I needed one. I'm coming back, just let me go. I'm coming back, just let me go, yeah. I'm coming back, just let me go. I'm coming back, don't let me go. Who am I when the music stops? And the character that I've been playing is really just broken and fucking lost. I swear.
Okay, Machine Gun Kelly. So this is big, because this next line, this is why I think it hit me too, because there was a lot of I had a lot of emotions regarding family members and whatnot and stuff, and I worked very hard to. My family worked on, again, getting over a lot of adversity and stuff, and there was a lot of feelings towards each other and whatnot. So just seeing that before my dad left this earth, he made sure I took on every quality I didn't want. I was supposed to die at birth. Give me a chance. I fucked it up and give me another one. There's such this anger, and a lot of anger towards families and parents, and I was very angry as well growing up, and it took a specific quote to kind of allow me to have empathy for them, and it's not to and again, I'm not saying if something significant happened to you, you have to forgive them, but forgiving is more for yourself, to move on, to not really hold that anger to stay in or anything for anybody else. And, I think it's typical for people to be angry at their parents, regarding whatever happened. There's different levels of it, of course, but it's important to work through that, because if you hold that on, it's gonna perpetuate a cycle, and you're never gonna be able to kind of move on from it. And healing and forgiveness is for you. It's not for the other person. A lot of people forget that, or don't even know that, actually. So it seems like he had a lot of disdain and anger for his parents specifically, because then he goes on to say, I just called Ma, said I forgive her for not being there when I needed one. That's a really difficult thing too, feeling maybe neglected and not having a proper mother, That's part of the adverse childhood experience. There's an assessment we do. It's if you have 3 or more, and that's I think 2 or 3 of them, I think that he's even mentioned just in this song. If you have 3 or more of them, you're more likely and more susceptible to mental health, physical health disorders in the future. And it basically highlights negative aspects or negative experiences children have gone through at a very young age. So if you don't know what that is, look it up, and I will, if you have any questions, drop a comment below. So it seems like there's a lot of anger there, and he's just working through that. And I think music can be a great, great, great outlet. I think a lot of artists have some conflicting feelings when it comes to their parents, and they write a lot of stories. I've done Noah Khan, who's pretty much famously written about his parents and a lot of different aspects. I don't know if I can't think of Ren off the top of my head if he has. BTS I think mentions their parents every now and again. Nothing specific, but maybe like the stresses of doing well and performing. But I like this too because the bridge or the chorus part, I'm coming back, just let me go. I'm coming back, just let me go. And at the end it says, I'm coming back, don't let me go. So there's like this idea of like, I'm coming back, just let me go. It's like, let me be on my own. I want to leave. I want to isolate. I'm coming back, just let me go. It's like kind of saying it over and over and over again. And at the end, it's like he's finally being honest, like, I'm coming back, don't let me go. It's like, I know this is not good for me anymore. I need you to hold on to me. And I really like that. I think that's a really beautiful sentiment. I think that's a really beautiful sentiment of like honesty, being completely open with yourself and being able to identify that like, no, this isn't going to be good for me. Isolating is not great. You know, taking time and space is different than isolating. Isolating is a lot more separate. Isolating is a lot more negatively influencing mental health across the board, you know. Like, it's one thing if I need time and space to be able to come back in a proper headspace to converse about the topic we were talking about, but it's time and space is just to come back and have that conversation in the social interaction. Isolating is to negating that social experience or relational whatever component, that interaction with another person completely, and that can be extremely, extremely dangerous. I really like this part too. This is again more. Seems like we're getting in more identity. Who am I when the music stops and the character that I've been playing just really is broken and fucking lost? Oh wow, like he's like really like challenging his identity, and like this song sounds extremely healing for him. And I think this one was probably a really vulnerable one writing for him. I would have to guess that. I'm sure there's probably interviews or something. I'd be really curious. So drop a comment if there is an interview. I'd love to watch that. But yeah, let's continue on. Looks like we got a little bit more. Finish up.
I've been telling you over and over again in all of these songs, but they don't hear nothing I'm writing cause they're too busy trying to write me off. And they go on and on and on. It's funny cause if we just sat and talked, you'd see that it's just hard for me to be vulnerable cause I blocked it off. I got trust issues. Growing up, no one was there to hear what I thought. My heart was broken like my ribs as a kid when me and my father fought. Yeah, I'm medicating with something that I cannot pronounce, but it's what the doctor gave me. Rehab patient with a pen and some paper, the psychiatrist keeps evaluating. How can I live with the fact that my hand wasn't on her stomach when we lost the baby? I don't got no one to turn to, cause everyone's dead in my life that was trying to raise me. Searching for someone to tell me who I really am, I don't know when I look in the mirror.
So I gotta, oh my goodness, see, it's again, just line after line after line. It's like too much for me to like really be able to break down completely. So again, he hitting that vulnerable. It's hard for me because I blocked it off. So that makes sense, right? He's vulnerability is hard. Vulnerability is a very hard. We're not taught to be vulnerable. We're taught because vulnerability, as it's been taught and how it's highlighted, is a negative thing. Vulnerability can be life or death. But in the sense of the emotional component, it allows us to push past our current emotional intelligence and be able to push past our limits. So vulnerability in the sense of like the psychological components that is ourselves, that is beneficial. Showing vulnerability is a way to deepen connections, deepen our relationships. And a lot of people shy away from that because they're avoiding getting hurt. Yes, let me say it again, avoiding getting hurt. Often, likely, again, IFS teaches us that if someone avoids vulnerability, like it's fight or flight, like their body's going to kick in or die, it's because they've had an experience in the past where they were vulnerable, somebody took advantage of that, and now they ruined it for everybody. So it's very important to continue to try to push past your biases, your things of your negative experience, and try to replace them with positive ones. All that experience tells me is that you trusted someone who didn't deserve your trust. That person does not define who you are. Now, because now you're shutting off this part of yourself that other people would pay money to have. for you to be vulnerable with them. It would be so important for them to be able to connect with you even deeper. But now you've shut that part off yourself, and now you're limiting yourself of being able to really have like even a more deep and intimate relationship with whomever. So the vulnerability part is a really, really difficult thing, but it's very important to work towards that. So moving on, he again highlights some experiences with his father. My heart was broken like my ribs as a kid when me and my father fought. So there was clearly physical abuse, again, another part of the adverse childhood experience. Physical violence is extremely detrimental to children's development, both physically, mentally, psychologically, emotionally. That very much limits and stunts a lot of progression and the development across the board. I'm medicating with something I cannot pronounce, but it's what the doctor gave me. So there's some trust in the medical profession. Rehab patient with a pen and a paper, and the psychiatrist keeps evaluating. So he's talking about, again, some of his more mental health related experiences. And then he talks about how can I live with the fact that my hand wasn't on her stomach when we lost the baby, like just again, he's just highlighting such like hard experiences that he's gone through. And I think for him to get it out is he's questioning why him. It seems like there's like an existential component to it. Like he's like asking maybe like God why, or like a higher being or whatever he believes in, because he does mention God a few times. So I don't know. He's definitely looking for answers, and I don't think it doesn't seem like he expects answers, but I think it's finally time for the questions being asked is showing the vulnerability that this caused him pain. These experiences caused him pain. So I think that's very important, because even if we're not getting the closure we want, sometimes asking the question is just to get it out of our brain, because if we just allow it to be that washing cycle, that cyclical pattern, it's just going to drive us nuts. So yeah, let's continue on and finish up. God, this song is so beautiful.
Constantly dreading the day that the audience might not be screaming for me anymore. Feeling of dying alone and not leaving anything behind is my biggest fear. Kiss the person
ego.
that I love as if I'm never coming back after I leave out the door. I'm coming back, just let me go. I'm coming back, just let me go, yeah. I'm coming back, just let me go. I'm coming back, don't let me go. I'm
Banger.
coming back, just let me go. I'm coming back, just let me go, yeah. I'm coming back, just let me go. I'm coming back, don't let me go.
All right. So that wraps up. That wraps up Don't Let Me Go by MGK. The last lyric I want to talk about, the feeling of dying alone and not leaving anything behind is my biggest fear. I think that is the biggest existential component of this song. And I love existentialism. That's one of my favorite theories to talk about. A lot of people don't explore that, but I eventually, once I have my private practice and maybe do some things with some elderly individuals or just older individuals, I think that will be more of a topic. Existentialism, if you don't know, is the bigger questions of life. Like, what's the meaning of my life? What have I done? What's going to happen when I die? What religion's correct? Kind of those components. And I don't have the answers to them, but I enjoy processing and exploring those different things and exploring the different meanings because it's very hard questions, but it's a lot of philosophical based. So I enjoy exploring those different things with individuals, but a lot of the time I don't get to work with it, especially my current caseload. That's not very much topic, but I do very much enjoy it, so that's the plan. I am working on my hours, which is pretty cool, but back to the lyrics, the feeling of dying alone and not leaving anything behind is my biggest fear. There's ego there, right? We want to be remembered, and that's a very common thing. I'm not saying that's ego. Like, I know ego has a very negative connotation to it, and that's not what I'm saying, but a lot of people want to leave something behind, but typically that's based in the idea of, I want to be seen, I want to be valued, I want my presence to be known even when I'm gone. And that's where where ego comes into play, right? Because I want my presence to be bigger than my existence here on this planet, and I'm sure he does feel that way. I'm sure he does feel he's a performer. He wants to do well, he wants to be recognized for things. But even in that ego component, there's that gratification that comes from being accepted by others. And I know we're social creatures at the end of the day. I've said this positive. We want to connect and we want to do these things. But for our presence to be eternalized and be able to transcend our time on this planet is forcing or wanting that gratification. It's something that he wouldn't even know. He wouldn't even experience if it were to happen or not. So it's like it would just make him feel more comfortable. And we all look for comfort in one way or another. But I would really want to explore that, because there's definitely like ego that lies around there, and the existentialism that pushes that idea. And there's just it's like a fear of death. And there's nothing wrong with fearing of death, but it definitely seems to be very present and very pertinent to that specific ego part. So I'd really, really enjoy exploring that like an IFS component. But yeah, so that wraps up MGK, Don't Let Me Go. Great song. I listen to it consistently. I don't listen to it too often now. That's more of like when I'm in an emotional state. But that will definitely cycle through my playlist on my car. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you drop a like on this video. Make sure you drop a comment down below too if you enjoyed this reaction, or if there's another song you want me to react to. I've been listening to MGK for years, since I was young, and my older brother put me on him when he had the Lace Up album when that came out. If you were old enough to remember that, that does not make me unk. Do not comment unk on my videos, please. I already get called unk by many people, so please don't. Thank you. Make sure you drop a comment down below too if you just anything else you want to see. Make sure to subscribe too. We just broke 3,500, so let's go. That's huge. Thank you guys so much for all your support. And make sure to subscribe so you can catch the next video. Thank you. See you then.